Where's the mic? Over there. Is it picking my voice up? Yeah, the green ball bouncing up and down. Now, I put postings on Facebook, but as I've got so many YouTube friends who are not on Facebook, I do tend to do upload after I've put a big posting on Facebook. So, what's my latest one? Oh, where's my fags? I've got light a fag up. Can't live without smoke. Where are they? Oh! Where are they gone? Found them. Yeah, the windows out and that little fan's running in the kitchen. I've often been accused of bombarding people verbally and not giving them a chance to get a word in edgeways. And of course, this comes from driving trucks for 40 years, often many times sat alone driving thousands of hours. Occasionally I had people in the cab, but only occasionally. And I am very used to my own company. I'm very happy with my own company, and I don't know what the word loneliness means. I have Andrew here at the weekends on a Friday night and a Sunday night. Well, if I didn't, well, I wouldn't, apart from my neighbours, I wouldn't see anybody. My daughter don't often come over. And, you know, it don't bother me. No. Now, it's also been said, quite a few people have told me, that I do put people at ease when I meet them for the first time. You know, if you meet a stranger for the first time, it can be a bit awkward because both of you, after the introductions and pleasantries have been made, hello, how are you? There can be an embarrassing silence because neither of you know what to say. Well, that don't happen with me because I'm just tall. I don't allow an embarrassing silence. And I've often said, a lot of people have told me that I put them at ease because I just waffle. And as my ex said once, can't you shut your bloody mouth just once in a while? And I says, well, you know, because I still see her, like, even though we aren't married now. She says, I still talk that fucking iron legs off a donkey. I says, well, you know, I'm good at, if I don't stutter, you know, I'm very good at keeping a conversation up. All the many interests I've got, yeah, so I can always think of something to say. So anybody meeting me for the first time, be prepared to be bombarded verbally. And you might think in the end, I wish he'd just shut his mouth just for a while and at least let me say something. Because whatever anybody says to me, it feeds me, you know, and I can always speak back. Like if they say that they did something, I'll say, oh yeah, I've often done that, you know. So when I went and so, oh really? Oh, I've been there, you know. I drove trucks for 40 years, and there's not many parts of this country I haven't been to. So whatever anybody says to me, you know, it feeds me. I can keep going forever. Yeah, you probably think, oh, fucking hell, thank God he's gone. Perhaps you might not think that. Like, you know, I like to think, you know, that people wouldn't think that. I mean, who haven't I met? I met Paul Humphreys, and I haven't met Rob yet, but I shall have a lot to say to him. Oh yeah, okay, no. Yeah, I mean, even Sam, you know, I'm always attacking his video. If I ever met him, well, there wouldn't be an embarrassing silence. My God, I certainly wouldn't bombard him verbally. Same as any of you. If I were to meet you for the first time, don't worry about an embarrassing silence. That will never happen with me. Same down in Somerset. They can be very funny down there. Not funny, ha-ha, you know, funny, peculiar. And if you don't talk to them, they won't talk to you. Well, I never allowed anyone to ignore me. Yeah. My old mate Ken down there, he says, honestly, you talk to strangers as though you've known them all your life. And I do. I do. I even do it now. People are total strangers, and I just talk to them as I've known them all my life, you know, because I like to think, you know, I just talk naturally. My bloke I meet over there occasionally, I said to him this morning, hey, up knobhead. He says, charming. I said, totally joking, mate. Your head don't look like a knob. I don't think, anyway. So, you know, there's never an embarrassing silence for me. So if anybody meets me for the first time, don't worry, I will put you at ease. Yeah. I logged off earlier because Saturday night on Facebook is dead. And, you know, I've been watching the telly. I've just put it on again. and played Rob's version of Handler's Largo. And it was very nice. I've always loved that. My late mother, George Buxton, when we were kids, George used to play it on a harmonium, bumping the pedal up and down, like, and our mother used to say, play Handler's Largo for me, George, please. And George used to. So, Ed, as I said on that video I did with David, just crematorium down in Cornwall, I said, everybody knows Handler's Largo. Very famous piece. Which is from his opera Xerxes, isn't it? Yeah, I know. I'm not stupid. I criticised Rob earlier, but you've got to bear in mind, I know I'm not an organist, and I probably shouldn't criticise organists, but I've had a lifelong love of organ music from being a small boy and driving the truck for 40 years, always playing organ music. I've listened to thousands and thousands of organists, from the top professional concert organists down to the organists who play in churches and chapels where it rattles. So, although you might say, why should you criticise? Some people could say, you should shut your mouth and not criticise because you don't play an organ. Oh, yeah, but I've got a good musical ear. I did a buzz with that last load up I made where I sang, and I deleted it. Yeah, because it weren't very good. And my next singing video, what did Rob say? I worship the King. Oh, I've sung that many times. It's boring. Got to sing something a bit different, but not as complex as that. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, but you don't hear me sing anyway. I ain't got a special voice, have I? I mean, when I used to do cassette tapes, before computers came along, I used to send cassette tapes to people, and oh, shut up. I better have a look. It might be Andrew. It is. George Michael has re-released Zip Me Up Before You Go Go. I'm not fucking interested in George Michael. Wham! Zip Me Up Before You Go Go. I'm not into George Michael's music. I'll send him a reply in a minute and upset him. I'll say, what, that tosser? And he often says, where films are concerned. I don't know what, I give up recommending films to you, Dad. I said, yeah, well, come on, I'm 74. I'm not interested in fucking zombies, vampires, and werewolves. I like space, Apollo 13, anything to do with space. And I like Fact, The Dam Busters, which I've watched hundreds of times, and I could happily watch again. The Great Western Shane, Clint Eastwood's westerns. But I'm not into whacking ass for George Michael and Zip You Up Before You Go Go. What I can say is, George, fuck off. No, I better send another reply. Right, I'm going. I've waffled enough. Right. And if you want to criticise me, go ahead. Yeah, any of you. I look rather light on the screen because I've got the light on. I put a new bulb in my table lamp. The other lamp, the Andrew bought, I've put that on. Well, all you'll see is a white glare. And I don't like these Specsavers. I went to my optician who'd been sending me reminders. I said, I regret to say, alas, I went to Specsavers and I wish you hadn't because these glasses have done me. She says, well, we do find that people leave us and go to Specsavers, but they always come back. I says, well, I should come back to you, but I can't get the grant now. My bread and sugar sandwich is repeating. I shouldn't eat bread and sugar, bread, best butter, and spread sugar on it because I'm diabetic. But she said, people always come back to us, because Specsavers are cheap, but these damn things, I don't like them. But I won't get the grant now, the NHS grant. I've got to wait till next year. Yeah, right, I've waffled enough. I'm going. Cheers. Come on now, don't play up. Let me look at the camera and say bye. I ain't got the arrow right yet. Here we go again. Bye.